What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us?
SPEAKROC, that's the team that I'm with. SPEAKROC, don't it make a lot of sense? SPEAKROC, yeah, we speak to each other. Hey, young man, be a brother to another, Put the other things aside, throw away the fakeness. All my brothers got the key to achieve greatness. Let nobody bring you down when you tryna reach the top. Let them know what you represent, tell them SPEAKROC. Let's make a change for the best. Let your voice be heard, let your words be expressed. Brothers and sisters, set a goal to the top. If anybody got your back, let them know it's SPEAKROC.
Hey, yo, Guap, that was dope. Hey, just gotta keep telling them what it is out here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you already know, man.
Hey, we doing this one for the D. What up, though?
What up, though?
What up, doe? What up, doe? What up, doe, brothers and sisters? How you doing on this spring, this fine spring day? Man, it's like wonderful outside. I'm feeling good. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing good. You know, I can't complain. Life is good. Hey, look, you know, just out here doing my SPEAKROC thing, and everybody, you know, if you've been keeping up with me, you see I'm doing my best to put in some good quality work. With that being said, you know, I told y'all it was going to be some changes, you know, as far as the production of my show, of the SPEAKROC show. And I'm still working it out. I'm still tweaking, you know, I'm learning, I'm growing, you know, trying to understand, you know, far as certain, you know, technology, you know, hookups, and, I'm getting it in, man. And it's growth, you know, and like I said, I love the process, man. I'm enjoying the process of just growing and developing at SPEAKROC, and just getting an understanding of what I need to do and how I need to do it better. You know, it's a grind. You know, all things aren't perfect. You know, I'm in the middle of a mess. You know, my work area is like, you know, sometimes in shambles. As a matter of fact, it's in shambles now. I'm gonna keep it a buck, you know, but hey, in either event, is my mess. And I'm working it out. You know, I hope wherever you are, you know what I'm saying, you creating a mess, you kicking up some dust, and you making it happen in your ventures. And you should, you know, make noise, you know, get yourself out there, make it happen. You know, with that being said, hey, look, if you have not connected to my social media platforms, please do go ahead and hit me up at SPEAKROC on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Go ahead and go to my YouTube channel, type in SPEAKROC, SPEAKROC, and you will see all my previous videos, and you will see, you know, all the content that I've put out there. And I ask you to do this. Please go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. Let me know that you're in the house. And I'm going to ask you all again, if there's some topics that you want me to cover, some things that you want SPEAKROC to get into, go ahead and hit me up, either in the DMs or what have you, or go ahead and hit me up on my email. That's speakroc@gmail.com. That's SPEAKROC@gmail.com. I greatly appreciate your input and you chiming in. And once again, I don't take it lightly that you go ahead and you join me, you know, on days like this, especially beautiful days like this on this Sunday. If you don't catch it here, you can definitely catch it on my YouTube channel, and go ahead and get it in and let me know. Leave a comment, do something. Let me know that you're in the house. Hey, look, shout out to everybody that's putting in that good work. It's just like a lot of people that I know that is just making it happen. You know, shout out to Katie. Katie is out there. She just got a, new job, and she's making it happen in the marketing piece. Shout out to her. Shout out to my boy Ron. He keep rebirthing himself over and over again, recreating himself like a man should. And he's making it happen, putting in good quality work in that hair industry. Shout out to a couple of other people. I see my boy John, he out there with Save. He's putting in quality work, getting ready to do something real big here in April. So he's putting it in. My brothers, Two-Time Focus, they out here grinding, making it happen, networking, doing what they got to do so they can be a benefit to the community. Hey, so look, hey, whoever else I didn't mention, I'll mention you later. You might be like, who is this dude to be doing shout outs? Hey, SPEAKROC. That's who I am. My platform, I'm shouting people out because I feel good like that. Hey, look, let me find out. Did anybody check out that Roxanne Shante? I believe it's called Roxanne on Netflix. Man, I saw it yesterday, and I'm just gonna be honest, man, it was tough to watch. And I'm a hip hop head, and you know, old school. I remember all of that. I remember the Juice Crew and Roxanne. I got it. It was just a tough watch, and you know, rightfully so. You know, hopefully they kept it a buck. Hopefully they kept it all the way authentic to what the actual story is, and didn't really fluff a lot of the storyline. You know, for it to be something worthwhile airing on Netflix. But I'm just gonna go ahead and give the benefit of the doubt and trust that, you know, it was all 100% authentic to her original story. But in either event, it's a tough watch. I just had so many. It kind of struck a personal, you know, nerve for me. You know, I have a little, you know, understanding as it pertains to the rough upbringing she had. You know, I can relate a lot of it, you know, to my family. And I think anybody who was, coming of age in those years in the 80s, yeah, it was rough. And, it was like a hip hop version of Precious. And my God, like I couldn't even watch. I don't even think I seen all of Precious. I might seen pieces of it. Then by the time it started getting real hairy, I was like, I can't with this. And I'm just gonna be honest. I was straight up, you know, hey, as they say, I felt a certain kind of way. Cause I'm gonna tell you why. It was just a lot of buster men in that drama. The men was terrible. I mean, just not a real man anywhere. They cats trying to rape and they beating on women and beating on Shantae. I'm like, what? Having sex with underage young, like, oh man, I can't, Where are the real men? It was terrible. I think the realest dude in the whole drama was, Biz Marquis. He was like, hey, look, I got your beatbox. You know, I was like, okay, you know, that was it. Maybe Shan, you know, MC Shan, Nas, you know, he got a little cameo. Well, not the real Nas, but a little young cat portraying Nas. But he was like teenage, you know, so he wasn't like a man. He was like a little teenager. But the rest of the men, horrible, just horrible. So with that, that's going to kind of help me segue into what it is that I want to talk about today. And, by me seeing all these raggedy men and yeah, the females, yeah, one of the females just wasn't that far off. I ain't going to get on her too much. It's like Shantae mom, like she was on one, but that's kind of, I don't know. I don't want to, I ain't going to make that normal or nothing, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, it led me to this and these thoughts. And there were some other events that went on this weekend that just made me feel like, I got something to talk about. You know, I was around this brother, yesterday, and, good brother, man, beautiful brother doing big things. And, you know, he was, you know, referring to leadership and talking about his leadership and how he gets things done and how hard it is to get certain things done and the respect and the honor that he receives or what have you. And, you know, it just was feeding into, helping me develop my content, you know, for my segment today. Yeah, so the Roxanne thing was going on. I was with the brother yesterday, you know, listening to them talk. And just too long ago, I was just on Facebook Live and saw, you know, another brother I know, and he was, you know, going off on leadership, giving people the business. I was like, my God. So I was like, okay, confirmation. I got it. So with that being said, this might just be more so for information. Take it how you see fit, use it, eat the meat, spit out the bones. If it helps you, great. And if it doesn't, hey, good entertainment listening to me today. So, what I want to talk about is, respect my leader. Who are the leaders today? Who are our leaders in the African American community? I mean, we got cats out here that have been in the game for a minute, a long minute, especially on the political scene, on the social scene, i.e. if you talk about, Jesse and Al, man, they've been in the game for a minute. I know up here in Michigan, we just had, John Conyers, he just, with drama in DC, he relinquished his seat in Congress, and they said, hey, it was because of health. But man, if that drama wasn't going on, Me Too movement and what have you, he wouldn't have went nowhere. I don't think he would have went anywhere. He'll still be serving today. So right now that seat is empty. But the point I'm getting at is, you got religious leaders, you got Farrakhan, he in the game, still making it happen. And the way that organization run, I don't know, unless I could be wrong, but I don't think they do a changing of the guard until, the leader who is currently in place is unless he passes away. I haven't seen it. I mean, to our understanding, there's only been 3, leaders since the Nation of Islam has been in place. If you want to call it leaders, I know one, Farad Muhammad, he talked to Elijah, and then, no, Elijah's son, I believe he took over after Elijah Muhammad, passed away. And then, then it came into, Louis Farrakhan, but to the minister. But with that being said, then world renowned leaders in the African American community, as far as spiritual leaders, I mean, like T.D. Jakes, I guess Creflo Dollar, I guess I don't know. That's some can argue about that, but TD's been pretty consistent. But anyway, these are people that's been in the game for a minute. And look, I'm not trying to rush nobody out, but I'm just trying to have a conversation today about, are these our leaders? Is it business as usual as it pertains to having leaders? Or has the aspect or the thought of having a leader in our community, has that changed? I would say yes. I think it has changed. I think that we need to, rethink, what a leader is for our community. I think we need to change it up. Look, this is what I think. I think we're leaders. Now, and the way I mean that is, for those who desire to be leaders of good, okay? Because there are leaders who can lead you to doing straight evil things and doing bad things. But, for the most part, I'm talking about leaders of good. So, let's rethink this. Leaders. Like, why are we, it seems like we're still waiting on that one leader to take us to the promised land. Like, we got to have a leader. We got to have 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever the number is of people designated to take us where we need to go. And quite frankly, I don't think we're, as a community, African Americans, I don't think we're really listening. And I don't think we're really following. Some can argue me on that and challenge it. I don't think we are. Look how long Louis Farrakhan has been in the position that he's in. And some can argue that things aren't no better than when he first took over to now. And no fault of his own. I'm not blaming a brother or nothing. But what I'm saying is that, okay, I mean, those who desire to be part of the nation, okay, they participate and then they follow. But for all of, African American community, some can say, well, you got the Million Man marches that he did. He led people in that way. I mean, he gathered all those people, and that's to be respected. Absolutely. Still, that's still only a fraction. I mean, I'm not saying that he was supposed to get all America and we all supposed to, gather on the Mall of America in DC. And I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is still as a whole, as a people, we don't follow Louis Farrakhan. We don't. Regardless of how much we respect him, we don't. And the same would go for any the prominent mainstream clergy in the African American community in America. You don't really follow them unless you go to their church. Those are the ones that follow. Outside of the rest of that, quite frankly, let's be honest. I've talked to pastors, and look, the Martin Luther King type pastor, the civil rights pastor, I think that's what we're looking for. I believe that day is just dead and gone. That civil rights pastor, that you went to that church and not only can your pastor deliver a word, some scripture out of the Bible and break it down line upon line and precept upon precept, and can speak on practical matters and speak on social issues, and to be a leader that galvanized all of the African American community. I don't see one. That's not to say that we don't have religious leaders out there that can do it, that are activists and that are putting in a work in the community as well in the church. There are some, yeah. I mean, and some of you say, well, I know this pastor, I know that pastor. Okay, lower level, and that's your pastor. Lower level, that's your pastor. Most people probably wouldn't know of him or her. Don't know. I mean, if that pastor was in New York, then you went to, Florida and was like, hey, this pastor so-and-so, they probably wouldn't know. But if they said TD Jakes, 9 times out of 10, nationally known. Okay. So what I'm getting at is this. I just think that old model of the civil rights era type spiritual leader that is socially active on a large scale to lead all of Black America is gone. I've had many of them tell me they are oppressed and they are dead set. Their faces like flint. They are consistent to preaching the gospel and saving souls. That's it. They ain't doing no more. But I think what happens to us is that we as a community, we depend and we're looking towards the religious clergy to be, everything. We want them to help us, we want tax classes. We want financial classes. We want, real estate classes. We want all these things. We want a lot. We want things that, community service networks are supposed to be providing or can provide or should provide. We want that to be done in the church. And the pastor's like, I just came to preach the good news. Like, what do you want from me? Then, yeah, I mean, this is what I see. I'm not telling nobody what I think. I'm telling you what I know. And I think that's why Black America is so frustrated with church. And so we just break it down and we call it black church. We get so frustrated with black church because black church isn't providing all these things that the community want. And by all account, in all fairness, that's not what the church is supposed to be doing. It's just not. At the end of the day, it's not. I mean, I've said this before. It's a nice to have. It's a cherry on top. If the church got a credit union, it's a nice to have. If the church got a daycare center, it's a nice to have. The church got a K through 12 school. That's nice. Okay, it works. They don't have to have it to be a church. Like we didn't throw all these extras on church, and church is bending over backwards trying to make it happen. Anyway. I think we really need to stop looking continuously for that savior in a leader in the world and stop bypassing yourself and look at yourself. What do you bring to the table? What are your thoughts? In your years of living, what have you gathered? What wisdom have you obtained? That's what I'm talking about. What can you bring? What value? What leadership experiences do you have? And I'm talking about me too. Because anybody asks you, I'll say, hey, yeah, I'm a leader. I am a leader. There's things that I know. There's things that I understand. And there are people that I can help when given the chance. I say when given a chance because you can't make nobody receive your help. It doesn't work like that. You either got to persuade them or they got to, and even if you persuade them, they willingly have to put themselves in a position to be helped or to be led. Now, it does help that if you're charismatic, it does help that if you're an orator, that you can, pull on the heartstrings of people and it matters that you're an educator, that you can get people to understand. It matters. With all that being said, though, there still have to be a willingness of that individual to follow you based on what it is that you bring to the table. And the old model of looking for that one leader that can lead the masses, it's dying. It's dead and gone. I think there's some spiritual beliefs that I have that I as far as I'm concerned, till Jesus come back, that's where we're looking at. That's where we're going. That's as far as the leader that I'm concentrating on. But everybody else that's here in the earth, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but hey, you can only be effective based on what you can really concentrate on. Because I think if you're just trying to really like lead everybody, I think that's almost it's unrealistic, and there's an unrealistic expectation that's put on the so-called leader who's going to lead us into that direction. I think there's a lot of people that can bring some things to the table. And, far as they have leadership in them and they have the know-how in them. And I think what happens is that a lot of us get shut down and we get shut out by the old guard and the old regime. Yeah, I said it. It's about to get a little hairy, but I gotta speak on it. I wouldn't be SPEAKROC if I didn't. I think the old regime, like they don't want to let go. It's almost like you've been doing the same thing for so long, but expecting different results. That's insanity. But comfortable. You're in a good position. The way I look at it, I'm just going to say it. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You just got job security. If no one is stepping up, if no one else is saying like, hey, look, yeah, I'm that leader. I'm that leader for the people. I got something to bring to the table, something to share, something to help out, something to educate, something to influence. I'm bringing something to the table, be it young or old. So when you don't have those people, and those people aren't really making noise that is sensible, the old guard just gonna stay there. Because from what I see, I don't see many up and comers that are really trying to learn from the old guard, or I don't see the old guard really duplicating themselves, putting the younger guard in place to say, this is my, this is the person that's going to take over. This is the person that's going to make something happen. This is the person that's going to do a new thing. I don't too much see it. Like, I've asked this question before. Like, who is taking over if Al Sharpton isn't here? Who? Well, I guess you got to keep it secret. I guess you got to be strategic. Keep that on wraps. Don't talk about it too much. Whatever. Whatever's going to happen. Just, my thing is, give the people, if that's, you're going to use that old motto, give the people something to look forward to. That's just me and my thinking. But once again, I also think that the old guard just shut people out and they keep people at bay that are up and comers. I've seen this many of times. One of the biggest places that you'll see it either at work or you'll see it at church. For some reason, there is a problem if you got an individual that is a strong individual. Now, I don't mean so much just only in might and brute strength, or I don't mean just only strong-willed, but a combination of all. A well-balanced individual, not needing for nothing, not being a burden. When you got an individual like that, they got intellect. They have they're a man or woman of principle. For some reason, unless that person shows themselves to be extremely subservient, that person is seen as a threat. And slowly but surely, that individual won't be around any longer. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Because you may be that individual. You probably was just going about your business, doing your best to be a blessing, doing your best to help out as best as you can, going at it hard, putting in good quality work. But slowly but surely, it's come to find out that you wasn't needed. You're not needed because you're something that because you're not going to submit yourself to a level of just bowing down. See, this isn't going to be said to you, but this is really what it is. You won't be alone longer. There'll be coups started. You'll see whatever relationship you had, it'll just slowly start melting away. More distance to become between you and the powers to be. The next thing you know, for whatever reason, the smallest thing, something to come up, and then, it's put in such a way in which you did XYZ, and that's not to be tolerated. And next thing you know, there's a splinter in the relationship and you're out of there. So the place where you could have been a leader at and you could have been groomed to do great things and move forward, can't do that. I've always given an example about a lion pride. Rarely do you, if ever, would you see two alpha male lions ruling the pride together. I think maybe I saw it once on Animal Planet. Maybe. I can have my stories mixed up, but for the most part, there's only one alpha lion. Then the other male lions, either they're real young, or when they get to that range where they start getting the mane around them, and they're not young, but they're not full adults yet. It's only a moment of time before they get chased off by the alpha lion that's still there. The only reason there becomes any other alpha lion is the ones that was chased off and they're nomads. They come back and they challenge the alpha lion that's in place, and then he can take over if they beat the one that was in charge. That's how that happens. But two male lions usually roaming together and working together. They're usually outcasted. They're ousted from the pride and they're roaming together, getting things done. They're probably hunting on their own, doing everything on their own now until they build up enough strength and courage to go challenge alpha lion of another pride. But two alpha lions in one pride, it never really happens. I'm telling you, hey, that's just the animal kingdom comparison. But I want you to look in real life. And unless, usually if there's two brothers or two sisters working together, working towards something, usually, unless they're just great friends or they just really need each other's resources and they need each other's know-how, and they respect one another, that's usually how they stay together and they work out together. Or if you do see them together, one is really in charge, the lead, and the other one is secondary, and secondary to the point where that individual is subservient. Now, there can be other examples out there, but 9 times out of 10, those two situations are the ones you'll see the most. And I believe a lot of times the reason why we don't see the old model of the leaders that we used to have in the civil rights era, the reason why that's dead is because in this day and age, I don't think anyone respects your leader the way they should. I just don't. I don't think people want to be in charge and people want to lead their own thing so much that they're intimidated by anyone that comes along with with that thing, with that it factor. Because they know they have leadership. They know it. But, they don't respect their leader. So instead of respecting it, they're intimidated. I know that this won't be talked about. You may get this one in church every now and again. Maybe. But this isn't a positive conversation. Like I told you, I said, hey, look, this may be just informative. But if there's some value in it, take it. But I'm telling you, to me, I see leadership in everybody. Or let's put it on a male level. Now, like, I'm the kind of person, when I look at another man, I say just that. That's a man right there. I do my very best to go out my way to make sure I always acknowledge when I come in the presence of another man to understand and let that individual know, like, I respect you as a man. Because I feel that's important. Because if I want that in return, I got to give that. I got to give that respect. That's a grown man right there. And when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about this is a man. This is, for the most part, men, for the most part, are stronger than women. So we talking about another brute strength male that you're in front of. Got to respect that. I think the moment you don't respect it, that's when problems occur. I got to respect that this individual was just born into leadership. I got to respect it. This individual is probably married, probably got kids, leader of their household. Respect that. We trying to sit back and, you got to, I don't know. I just never bought into that. Like, people like, oh, you got to earn my respect. Man, forget that. Get that man respect off rip. Give him his respect. And keep that respect. Respect that man's leader. And I think a lot of times in situations, be it, work, church, social gatherings, whatever it is, I think a lot of times when men have conflict, there's usually one man that does not respect that other man's leader. And then that's when you come into the place where an individual's like, if you don't respect me, I'm going to make you respect me. I'm going to take my respect. Yeah. Shouldn't have to be all of that. Same things go for women. You come in the presence of another woman, respect that woman's leader. Respect who she is. Respect her strength. Respect the fact that she can have babies. Respect that she's intelligent. Respect it. I don't care what leadership position you may be in right now. And if that person is that person may work for you, or if you're in some leadership position in the church and you have a title in the church, I think where we always mess up is where we don't respect that other person's leader. Well, I can just speak for myself. I know every time if it happens or when it happens, I can always tell when the moment when somebody don't respect my leader. I always know. And what happens is a lot of times people are like, oh, you're just offended. That's like the good comeback to say like, oh, it's not me, it's you thing. I'm like, okay, I understand where respect is. I came up in an era in which, respect was held in high regard. If you didn't give a person respect, they was going to take it. So I think I got a good handle on what respect is. Respect isn't that you do whatever you want to or say whatever you want to say to somebody and they just supposed to be okay with it. They should restrain themselves and act accordingly. That's not what what respect is. No. So I feel like, hey, look, in this day and age, there's not enough for respecting the leader of people that may come into an organization. So therefore, that's why you don't know. I just don't think there's these great moves of these polarizing leaders that we hold in high regard, such as our elders, the Malcolm X's and the Martin Luther Kings and the Huey Newtons. And I just don't think we're not birthing these people anymore. We're not grooming them. So what happens is that everybody's turning and doing their own thing. But that's not a bad thing, because I think there's leadership in that too. But I just don't think it's going to fall in the same model of, it's not going to fall in the same model of the old guard now. And, you know, it's not going to be what it used to be. I believe that time is past, and this is a new era. I'm not saying that we don't need the leaders we have today. But if these leaders don't understand that we are in a new era, and if they don't start grooming the people that are going to take their place, yeah, all that which you built is going to be dead and gone. So I want to put this call to action, this clarion call out here to everybody and let you know, look, you've been given a gift. You've been given a movement. You've been blessed with abilities. You've been blessed with know-how to make change for the better, for your community, for your people, for the world. I ask you to go ahead and step out. Be bold. Work at it. Get yourself together. Stand up. Be heard. And make it happen. Because I believe by you doing that, someone's going to hear you. Then someone's going to follow you. Then there's going to be more people that's going to follow you. And I just pray to God that you're leading them in the right direction, in the right way. Hey, look, this is your brother, SPEAKROC. I enjoyed spending time with y'all today. Hey, remember, get on my social media. Check it out. SPEAKROC. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and on YouTube. If you caught this late, make sure you go to that YouTube at SPEAKROC. And you can check out this content and all the rest of the content that's on there. Hey, look, everybody, enjoy the rest of your day. God bless. Just remember, I'm a brother from Detroit. What do I know? I might know a little, I might know a lot, I might not know nothing at all. But in either event, let's live, laugh, and learn. Y'all be good. It's your brother, SPEAKROC. I'm out.